and welcome to the Record Europe from Brussels on a week where MEPs have paid tribute to the Polish President Lech Kaczynski, who's died, along with his wife, military leaders and many other high-ranking members of the Polish establishment in a plane crash in Russia. Also on the programme this week, after rows about the sharing of personal data and disagreements over the future role for the EU in Afghanistan, Shireen Wheeler takes a look at what next for relations with the United States. But first to that unprecedented tragedy which has shocked and saddened Poland and the rest of the world.
It was in this fog-shrouded woodland in Russia that almost an entire generation of Polish leaders died, their plane crashing short of Smolensk Airport's runway. Along with President Lech Kaczynski, the aircraft was filled with dignitaries and politicians, all travelling to commemorate the 1940 Katyn massacre of 22,000 Poles by Soviet forces. Now, new names will be added to the list of Polish lives lost in this region of Russia. Amongst them, the Chief of the General Staff and the Governor of the National Bank. In Poland, people have struggled to come to terms with the unprecedented number of leaders lost in a single moment and the sizable hole they've left in the upper echelons of Polish society.
The most important people in Poland died, so I don't know how will the future of our country look like.
Here in Brussels, a memorial service was held inside the European Parliament's hemicycle chamber. As well as the playing of the Polish national anthem, the names of each of those who died was read out.
Zbigniew Wasserman.
Stanisław Jerzy Komorowski.
Leading the ceremony was Jerzy Buzek, the European Parliament's president and a former Prime Minister of Poland under whom Lech Kaczynski once served.
We are meeting to pay tribute to the 96 people who tragically died. It was unprecedented catastrophe.
The EU Commission President José Manuel Barroso was also present, standing alongside MEPs, some of whom found the emotion of the occasion all too much. But amongst all the holders of high EU offices, it was Jerzy Buzek who knew as many as half the victims personally.
Well, I certainly knew President Kaczynski starting from the 80s, and it was Solidarity Underground. So very difficult time. So you had to trust people, and in such an atmosphere, very good relations and friendships was growing. And for me, it was certainly easier to contact him. And I invited him to my government in the year 2000. And he was skillful, well-prepared Minister of Justice.
And so, in your view, a great loss to Poland?
It will be very difficult to substitute all the highly educated and well-experienced people, a big number of them. President himself and also 18 parliamentarians, leaders, the main institutions like National Bank or Ombudsman, many others, and all the leadership of our army, all of them, 7 people.
Indeed, many perhaps in large part responsible for the establishment of democracy in Poland, of helping build up the country to where it is today. So how, in the future, do you see things developing without them?
But of course, we think about the future, and it will take some time to substitute all the people. From point of view of procedure and constitution, everything is working, because we were prepared, as a matter of fact, constitutionally, or from point of view of procedure. And in 10 weeks, we will have new president after election. And most important thing, we are in the European Union, so we feel stable and secure.
How much more difficult has this tragedy been for the people of Poland, given where that plane was heading, to the memorial, Katyn Memorial, these people were meant to be attending? Has that made the pain so much worse?
Well, really we can say history has dramatically come full circle. The people were there serving the country on their way for commemorating 70th anniversary of murder of thousands of Polish officers during the Second World War. And now we can know that we have new monument in the same place, very important for our nation. But the response from the Russian side is, as a matter of fact, very positive. And we have been touched about this response.
Yes, tell us about that. How do you see Russian relations from here on in?
You know, it was full understanding from our side and full dignity. And I can say, thank you, Russians, our friends, for this reaction. It's very important for Polish people. And we believe it could help to reconcile our continent in both mutual respect and trust and historical truth, the values the European Union was built upon.
For you personally, who knew so many of these people who've lost their lives, how difficult has it been for you carrying on this week in your job? You've still had many engagements, not least leading the memorial service. Personally, have you found it quite hard?
Of course, many of them. I wouldn't like to mention anybody because it is even difficult to say about that. And well, the most important persons are families and the loved ones. And our thoughts are, first of all, with them.
And with regards to the European Union, how can support be given to Poland, and what support is being given?
It's a great response from the side of Europe. And we can say moral, political support, psychological, is always very important. And of course, we are engaged in the European Union as a whole. So from this point of view, it's natural and quite usual.
Mr. President, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Now, one of the big issues facing the European Union is its relationship with the United States. Shireen Wheeler's been taking a look at this.